So we're also going to talk about some tools that geographers use. Geographers are people that study the earth and the things on the earth. And so they'd be really big into maps and different regions and grouping things into regions, whether that be based on language or religion or environment. And we're going to look first at globes versus maps. So globes are more accurate than maps, but geographers tend to use maps. Think for a moment why a geographer would be more likely to use a map than a globe, even though a globe is more accurate than a map. Go ahead and pause the video and think about that. Now that you've thought about that, you can kind of imagine, like if we took every map in our textbook and we made it into a globe, how much space that would take up. I mean, there's no way you would be able to fit all that in your locker. But maps you can easily fit in a book or put online, and you can put a whole bunch in one small area. So they're just easier to store, but they are less accurate, and there'll be distortion on every map that you ever use. And that's because the Earth is round. It's not flat. It's 3D, not 2D. And that is where the problem comes in. Now, there are different map projections. And so you might see a map of the world look different depending on if you're looking at one that's like a Robinson projection or one that's a Mercator projection. So we have the Mercator projection, the Robinson projection here on this slide. And the Mercator projection is usually one you use in younger grades because it's easier to read. The kids have an easier time keeping their finger on the grid lines because it's all straight. However, it is not as accurate as the Robinson projection map. The Robinson projection map takes into account the curvature of the Earth, and that's why you see that the longitude lines, the vertical lines, are curved. And this can mean that younger students can mess up while reading it, but once you learn how to read it, this map is more accurate than the Mercator projection map. But it still has some problems. It still has some inaccuracies. I would like you to pause this video, and we're going to look at map distortion.